Hey, look, we hired a new community manager. Look.
Hey everyone, I'm the new community manager. I'm Coffee State Studios.
Yeah, you already done my shit. Hi there, my name is Snutt. I'm the community manager at Coffee Stain Studios, and we are back, baby! That's right. We've been away for a couple of weeks, resting up, enjoying the Swedish weather while sipping margaritas on the beach. But yeah, we're back and it's time to get serious again. So the next thing for us is to finish update 8 so we can release it on the stable branch. We currently don't have an ETA on when the update will be available on the stable branch. And I'm going to get into why that is and sort of how we sort of plan to tackle experimental branch up until then. So usually when at this stage of development, where we're working on stabilizing the experimental build before we can release it on early access, we tend to patch quite continuously. This time around though, we're going to do things a little bit different, just a little bit differently. So what we aim to do essentially is we're gonna release 1 or maybe 2 patches now on experimental with a bunch of fixes. And then we need to hunker down again and work on a lot of stuff and merge a lot of stuff internally so that we can then resume patching on experimental again. So there's gonna be like 1 or 2 patches and then a little bit of a pause, and then we're gonna come back again and start patching again, and then we should be close to finishing update 8. One of the reasons why we're doing this is because we're planning to update the engine again to Unreal Engine 5.2. This isn't going to be nearly as big as an operation as it was going from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, but it's still going to require a lot of work from our end. And the main reason why we're updating the engine again is because in the newer version, a lot of the graphics related crashes will be resolved. So that's dope. 5.2 also has better VRAM handling, specifically handling the unloading of memory from the VRAM, which is an issue that has impacted our game specifically. This also unfortunately kind of means that the modding support that's been put in place for update 8 will break. But that's further down the line. That's sort of after this like little break of us patching on experimental, so no need to worry about it right now. But yeah, let's talk about the next patch that's coming out on experimental. So between now and the last time we put out a patch on experimental, there's actually been quite a lot of work that's gone into the game, specifically in regards to tracking down the performance issues that a lot of people run into. One of the main offenders we found when it comes to the hitching and like the stuttering that people have been seeing is the new physics engine that we're using for the game. It's called Chaos, which is a fitting name for, you know, how production for this update has been going. When the game is making too big like modifications of acceleration physics or doing fast physics operation, the physics engine would like cause buffers to constantly be rebuilt, and that's a problem. Epic are aware of the underlying problem. We reported to them, but they don't currently have an ETA on when they'll have a fix for this. But we've implemented our own fix. So we have our own solution to fix this problem for now. We also noticed that the creature spawning system that we have in place was causing a lot of issues, and we decided to rewrite that system again because it wasn't performant. And while we were at it, we also updated the logic for that system. So if you're an avid watcher, you know that this is not the first time we've done this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about the system where creatures will stop spawning if you've placed a specific amount of factory buildings. So the intention is that we can balance the game in a way where creatures like never respawn near places that are obviously intended to be a factory space. For example, places that have large foundation floors or functional buildings such as miners, manufacturers, generators, you know, etc. But we do want to respawn creatures near smaller infrastructure, such as pipelines, power lines, conveyor belts, and, you know, roads that span between factories. And in this way, players won't feel like the world is dead just because they've expanded their infrastructure throughout the map. So the way it works now is that each buildable in the game now have a value, and if the total combined value of the buildings in a vicinity is high enough, then nearby spawners will be disabled. An example of this is the case with the miner versus the foundation. So a single miner is enough to disable nearby spawners, but a single foundation piece will not be enough to stop spawning. So instead, you know, you need multiple foundation pieces. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll probably keep tweaking the system more in the future, and please let us know on our QA side if you feel like it's not working the way it's intended. So back again on the topic of performance, we've also improved our significance system, which is essentially a system that we have that keeps track of like when during each tick, like what should be updated, so we don't update everything at the same time. And it's like based on player proximity and various other aspects. So that's been optimized. Something very exciting is that we also significantly optimized how signs are rendered in the game. I know some of you have used signs to decorate your factories, which caused a lot of performance drops, where the only way to like keep playing almost in a lot of cases was to essentially remove your signs. But hopefully going forward, this should be nearly as big of an issue as it's been in the past, which are like famous last words. We also now have better render pipeline state object utilization, try saying that fast 3 times, which in layman's terms basically means that certain shaders in the game no longer need to halt the render frame if these shaders aren't ready yet. Something else we decided to include is support for DLSS, which will be the new default upscaling option for NVIDIA cards from now on. We're able to add this now, as most of the rendering issues that were blocking this up until now have been resolved when we were working on supporting TSR. We also plan to implement support for FSR for AMD cards in the future. So stay tuned for that. So with all that being said, when can we expect to update on the stable branch? So like I mentioned, we don't really have an ETA right now, unfortunately. This is already a pretty lengthy experimental period, and there's still a lot of work to left. I can tell you right now that it will not be in August, so Sag. We're working on meeting a couple of criteria to be able to release update on the stable branch, and this includes the game should be stable enough, meaning that the game shouldn't crash and there shouldn't be any stuttering or significant performance issues. Generally speaking, the game should be as playable as it was for update 7. And the goal is also to sort of fix a couple of bugs relevant to the work that's gone into update 8. I know that there's a lot of bugs that have been in the game for a long time that we haven't been able to get around to yet. And I know you're all really curious as to when we'll get around to those. And the only thing I can say right now is that we are going to get around to them at some point and reviewing those legacy bugs, further down the line. In fact, I'll probably make a video just addressing those legacy bugs in the future, so stay tuned for that. But apart from that, Update 8 is essentially feature complete. So, you don't expect any new features coming in Update 8. It is pretty much finished. It's just stability that's what we're working on. So that's all for now. I hope I could remember how to end this video. So that's all for now. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Hope you found this video informational. If you did, make sure to tell your family and friends that you love them. And thanks for watching. Okay, bye everyone. Oh, hi there. Jesus, scared my dog. Hi there. God damn it. Hi there, my name is... Oh, almost got it. Hi there, my name is Snutt. I'm one of the... Fuck!